Montreal pour la première journée de qualification pour cette première édition du circuit Montreal. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is the first edition of the World Tour Short Track IC competition. This is the first day of qualifications here. Racing will be starting in just over 1 minute. We'll be starting with the men's 1500-meter heats. 2 plus 6 advancement. On va commencer la journée avec la distance de 1500 mètres, mesdames et messieurs. Les courses commenceront dans 1 minute.
That walk through the tree and misty memories of days back. But we could never see no one ever told us about.
C'est parti pour la première course de la journée. There they go in the first race of the day. We have 7 skiers on track for this race. Wearing number 36, he won the bronze medal at the World Championships in this distance. Representing the Australian Racing Crews, that is Brendan Corey. Wearing number 40 from Italy, Thomas Navalini, Italian Gladiators. Wearing number 87, representing the New Zealand Ice Keys, Joshua Ka. Number 110 from the Bulgarian Kings, Ivan Donchev. Wearing number 139, representing the Philippine Tamaraz, Peter Joseph Grosklos. Number 123, representing the Hungarian Falcons, Jogradi Vence. And wearing number 134, representing the Norwegian Vikings, Mika Lefstuen. Avec cette course à faire, c'est Brendan Corey qui mène cette course. En deuxième position, Jogradi Vence. En troisième, Peter Joseph Grosklos. Currently sitting in 4th place, skater from the New Zealand Ice Keys, Joshua Ka. Moved by the outside, that is Thomas Navalini, fighting with Brendan Corey for the lead of this race. Trois tours à faire, Navalini suivi de Corey en deuxième position. En troisième, Jogradi Vence. Top 2 skaters will be guaranteed to move on. This is the first of 8 heats. Unofficially moving on to the quarterfinal round. Coming Thomas Nadolini and Brendan Corey.
Season in Rotterdam. So Tyler, we're back.
We are back. Great to be on the World Tour. Excited to see how this is going to unravel over the course of the season. But we're going to be off to a great start here in Montreal. So I'm really excited to be here and excited to be with you.
And we'll be filtering in and out over the course of the day because it's two of us running a long qualifying session today. And so we'll be taking our time on this one, easing into things, easing into the new era, the new season.
Started off with a nice clean race there. No drama unfolding, relaxed start. Smartly skated by Brendan Corey and Nadolini, getting to the front, making the easy moves and just taking it home to the finish.
And helpful new addition to this World Tour. Those names on the back, you see Nadolini there and able to, easy for the fans at home and us here in the arena to recognize it as well. So as I mentioned, the top seeds have already pre-qualified, and so they are already into the quarterfinal second heat coming up, starting with Adil Galiakhmetov of the Kazakh Nomads, Wara Van Dam of the Belgian Ice Bears, Liam O'Brien of the Irish Wolfhounds, another Racing Roo, and Lucas Wareham, Martin Kolenc of the Croatian Dalmatians, Mohamed Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars, and then Wonjun Moon of the Hungarian Falcons. A nice touch of some of these new names is there's certainly a cultural significance to a lot of them. The
Second race of the day.
Liam O'Brien, they have that new kit for the Irish Wolfhounds. If you've ever seen an Irish Wolfhound, it's a big dog. And this small team hopes to live up to that size. The Ice Bears, the Belgian Ice Bears will be also, love that sharp kit, the white and the black. And then the colors of the Belgian flag. It's Lucas Wareham. The Racing Roos, the latest addition to the wonderfully named Australian teams from various sports like the Wallabies and the Matildas, and now we have the Racing Roos, and it's Lucas Wareham leading things off right now on the front. 1,500 meter race. Off in a slow start, a little bit of a bump there.
When the pace is slower like this, you want to take advantage of getting to the front. Once you know what's going to pick up when you start slow, it's going to end fast. So you want to take advantage of getting out front early, make an easy move rather than having to do a lot of work later in the race.
Wonjun Moon of the Hungarian Falcons. They're emblematic of the Turul, the mythical bird of prey, often represented as a falcon. That is the national symbol of Hungarians. Oh, and there is a spill there. 3 skaters down. I was just caught looking down at my own notes here. 3 down, and you see the yellow card in the corner. That will be under review.
Van Dam was making a move on the outside there. We saw a little bumping from the shoulders, making contact with the other skater's hips there, and that just kind of sent them tumbling. And unfortunately, the third skater was just a victim of the fall in front of him.
To the quarterfinal round, that is Adil Galiakhmetov making his way by the outside.
On the front.
Taking the lead in this race.
It is Galiakhmetov, the top-ranked skater in this distance, ranked number 30. And he is off and away, comfortably winning this one. And then in second, Mohamed Bozdag, the Anatolian Pars. That nascent Turkish program really starting to build. They've a healthy number of skaters, put in some good results at the World Championships last year, turned a few heads. With the 3 skaters involved in that collision. Finish up.
So I think we're going to be looking for a review here between the contact between the Belgian skater Van Dam in our Irish skater. See if we get the review.
We'll get a look at it at some point here, but that is what it's looking. They're looking like it may be a late change in the corner. Yeah. Here's a look right there.
Van Dam on the outside, getting a little tight, putting a little pressure on those guys on the inside lane on the exit of that turn.
And Lucas Wareham really just an innocent bystander there, caught up behind him, also going down. We'll see what the decision is.
What happens when those falls, you see, you get this, shoulders gets pushed in, so that twists his hips out of the turn. And then the momentum pulling you around the turn, the G-forces pulling you, just start to spin you out when you lose that center.
So when we say a maximum of 6 fastest third-place skaters, that obviously gets reduced if there are any advancements and anyone penalized. So we will wait and see, because at the moment, right now, this is just the second heat and already the first review of the day. So we already have the first trivia question of the World Tour era. Who won the first ever race? That will be Thomas Natalini of the Italian Gladiators. Of course, they're prepping their own selves for an Olympic Games. Now that Paris is behind us, Milan, Cortina d'Ampezzo is on the clock. And at the end of the season, we'll get that Olympic test event in Milan. Really get a good look.
Another review of the infraction here. We'll wait to see what the officials say. It wasn't too aggressive of a move, but he was certainly, Van Dam was applying a little bit of pressure, pinching on the exit of the turn.
Look at the review room. That's both ends of the conversation right there.
Now the skaters wait. They wait for that call there. The officials are deciding their fate.
We do know that odds are good that they won't affect the 2 who advanced, or the 2 who finished top 2. But we do never know. We don't believe the results until they're confirmed. Just get into the third heat coming up. The skaters are out on the ice. They also have to wait for a little bit. So they are already out on the ice. Nico Anderman of the Austrian Metehan Atan of those Turkish Anatolian pars. Theo Collins of the new British Royals side. Oleg Hande of the Ukrainian Wildcats. Maxim Maximov of the Bulgarian Kings. Sven Roos of the Dutch Lions. Here we go.
We get a penalty for 109 from Belgium and an advancement for 9-1 from Ireland.
There you have it. Warren Van Dam gets penalized, and Liam O'Brien getting advancement. Often we wait and just see the result. That new addition of having the official announcement, I like that.
It's a nice touch, and everyone understands what's happening that way.
So we can see what's going on, and then we obviously hear the final result. And there's confirmation there, Warren Van Dam penalized, and advancement for Liam O'Brien. Finishing things off, the first look at a Dutch Lion, Sven Roos, and Wara Noiron, another Belgian Ice Bear. There's the look there. There's the penalization. Look at that orange kit on the front. The new Dutch Lions side.
Sven Roos taking initiative at the front, not wanting to get caught in the back, taking charge of this race.
Roos, 24 years old. He is a 1,500-meter specialist. He lives and trains in Heerenveen. Had a hip surgery at the end of the season back in 2022. We didn't see him on this Dutch side last year, if I get this correctly, if I remember correctly. Obviously changes to the team side over the course of the year.
You can see Sven on the exit of these turns here. He's looking back, looking over his shoulder, seeing who's around him. He knows who he has to worry about, so he's checking right who's behind him, looking to see if any moves are happening and when he's going to have to react.
Maximov taking a look there, sniffing around second place. Currently at the moment being held by Theo Collins.
With 7 laps to go here, expect to see some movements happening. Here it is.
That one really in close quarters. That threw Rose out of contention. That was Hyundai of the Ukrainian Wildcats. That sort of shook things up a little bit. It's Maximov of the Bulgarian Kings and now Metehan Atan. The Turkish Anatolian Pars moving to the front. And you can see it will be reviewed in the corner inside 4 laps to go.
Hyundai moving on the outside real quick here.
Hyundai taking a look, trying to get around Collins, trying to get around Atan. Collins thrown off balance a little bit, going very tight into that corner. Here comes Hyundai trying to make a move on the lead, and he does.
Great setup by Hyundai there, working his way around the outside, setting up to the inside, making his way to the front.
And Collins 3 into the corner. Hyundai is down now. There's going to be plenty to review, and wouldn't you know, it's Rose back in front, and he will finish in first place. And so a lot to review for that one.
Wow, there was a lot of action there. That's a lot to recap.
And that's the 3rd race of the year, so you see a couple of the little yellow dots there in the corner.
I think our officials have some work cut out for them after that race, and sometimes you see that in the earlier rounds where some of the skaters don't have quite as much of the experience, and they're wanting to make their statement this weekend, trying to do anything to get through.
And so they had a little bit of adrenaline, I suppose, from these being back on the international circuit. Can't quite match this intensity, this level when you're off-season training.
We just saw the move by Hyundai there to start it off. And then you see a whole bunch of attacks following it right away. So what we call that is an opportunistic maneuver. When you're watching for a bump, you want to see some action or a collision in front of you. And as soon as you do, you capitalize on it.
And then Hyundai himself moved to the front before he ended up going down 3 into that corner. There's the other incident there.
So 2 skaters both trying to make that inside pass. Collins was a little bit ahead of our Turkish skater. Well, we got to see what the officials see as they review it, but it was looking a little bit late at block 2 there. I'm not sure if Collins' shoulders were in advance of Hyundai's, so it'll be interesting to see the decision.
And so it was interesting. Sven Rose on the front for so long and then initially bumped out of the lead, and he gets it right back just in time, crossing the line in first place. We'll await confirmation of the results. Both of them, a couple of them involving, that's Hyundai and Collins, and then Atan also potentially involved there. So we'll let them sort this out. That's their job. We'll just talk about it.
So something to watch for as they're looking at these reviews here. When they're referencing lanes, they're using this blue line that's following down the straightaway from block 7 to block 1. So the officials will use that as a reference point to guide, are these skaters changing lanes and creating contact?
And all the while, the skaters in the next heat out on the ice, waiting for things to get finalized.
It's a lot of work for our officials, video review team here, because they got to pull all those clips and make sure they're identifying the right clips for the official to review.
Already, just 3 races already, 2 needing reviews. I don't know if they wanted to ease into the season, but all the hopes of that have been dashed already.
Well, we came for action and excitement, and we got it in that race early.
Still, here we go.
got shared responsibility for 95 from Turkey and 94 from Great Britain, and an advancement for number 75 from Ukraine.
There you go. So one of them had a shared responsibility call, which we do see quite often. So that's essentially no decision made, but there is an advancement for Oleg Hande of Ukraine being advanced. He went down into that corner there.
Hande had a great race there. After his first collision with Rose, he was bumped back. He made a great maneuver on the outside to get back to the front. And here's a review.
Shared responsibility here for this part.
So we see the skaters all going in quite level with each other, all shoulders about even, and none of them are changing their track. So that's going to be the shared responsibility, because it was an aggressive cut from the outside to inside or inside to outside. They all held their lane. Here's
a first look at our USA Eagle, Clayton de Clement. Matsubayashi Yui, the first look at the Japanese Ninja, Stefan Alexander Komorjev of the Bulgarian Kings, Kwok Fung of the Hong Kong Ice Chillins, Daniel Bergen of the Ukrainian Wildcats, going to get through here, DNA Sillier, the Polish Hussars, and Matthias Wolfgang, the Austrian side. But it's interesting that nobody was penalized, but there was an advancement.
Yeah, typically that's not what occurs, but I think Hande was just seen as the almost an innocent bystander in a collision that was not of his own doing, so the advancement was justified.
Number 117 from the Hungarian Ice Humans, that is Kwok.
Really relaxed pace here. You know, it's a long weekend for these skaters. They're going to have a lot of races to get through, a lot of rounds, especially these skaters here aren't pre-qualified to the quarterfinals, right? So they have some extra rounds they're going to have to do as they go through the day. So they want to save their legs as much as possible.
DNA Sillier, a first look at the Polish Hussars kit.
You can see how high they're skating. You know, they're not going to get too low yet. They don't want to burn out their legs. But as the pace picks up, we'll see them start to get lower and lower. But as an athlete and a skater in a race like this, you do want to take advantage of the slow pace to position yourself well near the front early.
We do sometimes see the rare person trying to go off on a flyer, trying to surprise the opponents, shaking things up a bit. I always do appreciate that. Just a little different look. The Clement of the United States, of the American Eagles, pardon me, on the front. And Matsubayashi Yui, the Japanese Ninjas. Usually, previously, Japan would go with a lot of black and gray. I do like the look of that red and blue edition. Sillier, French-born, and a Hussar, you may be wondering, is a type of cavalry from Central Europe. And since we are in Canada, I'll point out there has been a Canadian 1st Hussars Regiment. They're based out of London, Ontario, and they famously one of the Canadian regiment that stormed the beaches of Normandy at the Second World War. So a Canadian connection to the Hussars name of that Polish side. Anyway, it's de Clement now picking things up for the USA Eagles. Matsubayashi in second place. Sillier sniffing around, trying to make a move. There is the move for Sillier at the bell into second place. But Matsubayashi getting it right back again. Clayton de Clement of the Eagles taking it. It's a race for second. It looks like Matsubayashi hanging on for second place. This one doesn't look like there is anything being reviewed, so we wipe your brow of sweat. Might be in the clear.
Nice clean race there. I like the battle for the finish. Sellier doing everything he can. He had a nice inside maneuver, but when you make that inside pass and you're entering tight, it is really hard to hold that exit. We saw him drift wide, and Matsubayashi take it right back from him on the inside to claim that second spot. Here we see that relaxed start to the race. Skaters jostling for positions here. Want to be near that top 3 positions in the race when it's going a little bit slower.
Those 3 really battling all at the front.
Clement making a great outside pass, getting to the lead of this race easily.
And then the dash for the line. Matsubayashi holding on for second. with the new kit. You can really see that new identity right on the front as they stand up at the line. There is the winner of that heat, number 4. De Clement of the United States, or of the American Eagles, the USA Eagles. There are the results, the little watch next to the name of DNA Cellier. He'll wait to see if his time is enough to hold up. 5 heat already out on the ice. Iwasa Dan, another ninja. Lu Zhanshuo of the Ice Chillins, the Hong Kong Ice Chillins. Tarek Omeragic. Bosnia Herzegovina. I'll get confirmation of all these coming up. Lucas McDonald of the Ice Kias, the New Zealand Ice Kias. Ryan McAnuff, the Wolfhounds. And an Ice Spider, the Czech Ice Spiders, Radek Fikus. Really sharp color combination on that, the Irish Wolfhounds kit, matching that, the Irish flag on McAnuff's helmet.
You won't miss them out there.
Easy to spot, makes it easy for us. And I believe this is the first Ice Spider out there on the ice. Not everybody has that new kit just yet. They will be coming in as the season progresses, but you're getting a good look at the kind of feel that we have for, especially those of us here with the names on the back. Zhanshuo, Ice Chillins. It's a mythological creature. It's sort of all over Asia. It's sort of a chimera, a hooved creature, shape of a deer or a goat. Also, as we were pointed out, Chillin also apparently means ice cream. So there's a little double entendre with the name. You'll find that out when we get into some of our features that we have over the World Tour the weekend. But just having a little fun with some of this too, with the new identities on the World Tour season.
Iwasa picking up the pace here, getting to the lead, taking advantage of that slow start. But you know when it starts slow, it's going to finish fast. So these guys have to be ready to go.
Just wait for the other shoe to drop, and now McDonald, the Ice Kia, into second. He's really getting right into the slipstream of Iwasa. Iwasa holding them off for the moment. Omeragic now makes his move into second. Still Iwasa leading the way. Now they get strung out. Now the speed ramps up. Really holding them off, Tyler.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's slowly progressing the pace, Iwasa, from the front here, making it more and more difficult for the following skaters. Each lap building a little bit more, But now he's created this gap. But here, look out. Here comes the Chillin.
Here comes Lu Zhanshuo. It is a ninja and an Ice Chillin leading the way. It looks like those two will be comfortably over the line. Top two, nothing getting reviewed there either. Radek Fikus of the Czech Ice Spiders crossing for third, and he will also be on the bubble.
Great little finish by Zhanshuo there. Really exploding on the outside, closing that gap extremely quickly on Iwasa. He's going to be one to watch in the next rounds.
1500, looking back at the start, it'll be quite a bit different. We have the women's 500s coming up after this one, and that will be quite a different start from the 1500, where they sort of saunter into the fourth corner.
So Iwasa doing a good job protecting the lead here in this replay.
Iwasa, the familiar name. Good start for Lu Zhanshuo. Now we're getting a bit of a flow. There haven't been any reviews the last couple races. Now we get into the swing of things. Of course, you know, famous last words, but let's just move right on to the next one. 8 heats now. This one is heat number 6 coming up. Another ninja on the ice, Miata Shogo. Michał Niewinski of the Polish Hussars. Erik Anderson Viking out of Norway. Quentin Vercoq, our first look at the French Roosters.
So just as a reminder, we're looking for the first 2 skaters to go through and then the next 6 fastest third place. So there's 8 heats.
There has been an advancement though, so that will
and the advancement, which will change that. But we haven't seen any blistering races here in the 1500 with the fastest time looking at about 2:20. So I expect some of these next races may be looking to take advantage. We've got a 2:18 was the fastest, 2:20 was the fastest third. So I expect to see some of these skaters in the following heats, they're paying attention. That's going to change the way they're going to attack at the finish. If they know they're in a fast race and they don't have to be second because they got a quick time, they can relax in third. So that'll change the dynamic a bit. But they're going to have to start quick to get the pace moving. So let's watch to see if any of the next races kind of come out of the gate pushing the speed early.
Just finishing off the running order in the next heat. Yangun Ben Jung, first look at a German wolf. Zhu Yiding of the Chinese Lungs, and Sean McAnuff, another Irish wolfhound. Looks like they were just confirming some of the results there before we progress. Next up in this qualifying session is some women's 500 meters. So it will be the polar opposite to the 15s. It's the splash and dash. Skaters on the ice, perhaps a little bit chilly. The arms folded in front. There we are. The whistle going to line things up here now shortly. Safely into the corner. Nowinski, he's a sprinter. He's a big guy, and we see him often doing quite well in the 500 meters, but we're going to be talking this over the course of the weekend. We're going to see guys who are women and men who are specialists in certain events going in the events they might not be starting. And that's all really with Crystal Globe ramifications.
Yes, so if you're looking for that overall Crystal Globe standing, you want to compete in as many events as possible. With the new format this year, only having 3 individual events rather than the 4 that we've seen in the past, we'll have more skaters competing in everything because they're trying to rack up as many points as possible, not only for themselves, but for their team. Because the individual points, if you're in the top 20, your top 24, are going to contribute to your team standing.
And Quentin Vercoq, a French rooster on the front. France, of course, just wrapping up the Paris Olympics. They're also now on the clock for Winter Games in 2030. Short track, I might note, for that Olympics, currently being held in Nice in the French Riviera, and that sounds pretty darn nice to me.
Miata's working on the outside here. He's getting a little bit trapped. He's probably spent a few more laps out there than he would have liked, but when the skaters hear you coming, you got to get there quickly. He slipped back into third, but you knew he was trying to get right to the front there.
The tempo really is ramping back up there. You're mentioning that third place time and 2 skaters down. It's Vercoq and Nowinski. They both seem to be okay, but that happened at speed.
Real tight inside move by Nowinski there. hope to see a replay of that after the race.
Zhu Yiding of the Chinese Lungs leading the way. Miyata Shogo of the Ninjas in second, and hanging on nicely for third, Yangun Ben Jun. Born in Korea. Father got a job, he worked for a German company, and they made the move as a family to German, and here he is on the Wolves.
That incident really blew up the pack here. Again, two together at the front, so these guys know they're safe. They just have to get through to the line.
And it is, in fact, Zhu and Miyata, 1 and 2, and Jung will wait and see, and then we'll see what happens with the other two. Felkuk coming around to finish his own race. Nivinsky, he's up on his skates. He's not really pushing things, and he's wrapping things up. So let's look at the line, and we'll get a look at what's being reviewed here.
Yeah, we got a review here of possible penalty for lane change in the corner of Nowinski on Furcock. Here's Nowinski coming on the inside. Not quite ahead of Furcock there, really tight. When those skaters are coming around to the apex, they're moving in towards each other and just making contact there.
So they both had plenty of time to sort of sort out the direction of the blades, and so they safely crashed into those mats. And we looked down below, and Nivinsky sort of gave Felkuk a little, "You okay?" And everybody is fine there. So everybody able to get off the ice on 2 feet, on 2 skates. And there is Nivinsky off and down the hallway. So we will await the official ruling.
I think Nowinski has a feeling of what's going to come with this review.
It does have that feel, doesn't it? We have the announcement coming up right now.
After review, we got a penalty for number 18 from Poland and an advancement for number 21 from France.
There you have it. As we sort of got that feeling, Nivinsky penalized Felkuk, moving on with the advancement there. And so, of course, that takes away another one of those third-place finishes. But Jung also now has that little clock next to his name. He, of course, hopes to turn the clock into a Q. And moving on. We'll get right into the next heat. The skaters out on the ice. We'll get a look at the incident again. Here it is at the end of the straight. They say an illegal late pass, Tyler.
Yeah, so coming in after the second block, his shoulders aren't ahead of Furcock's there, so he has the right of way. They come into that turn, he takes him right out. So yeah.
There we go, lining up Peter Riches, British Royal, Robin Bendig, a Wolf, Timofey Kokelko, Ukrainian Wildcats, another Kazakh Nomad, Aibek Nassen, Frederick Pettersson, Norwegian Vikings, and Ivan Martinic of the Croatian Dalmatians. They do not have their kits just yet, but I'm excited to see that one. Of course, in a lot of sports, the Croatian flag, the checkerboard, features prominently. I'm kind of curious to see how the checkerboard might work with the spots of a Dalmatian. Time to get creative.
Just love the sound of that name.
We'll see if this one is another one that really picks up the speed. The start, of course, always a little bit slower. And it's Kokelko. Riches. 1 and 2 at the moment. Biding their time. This one's certainly not a quicker start.
Yeah, a little bit surprised to see that none of these heats are really looking for that time advancement. And, you know, that may play in part of the fact that they don't want to lead too much, because then they're not going to have the legs for the finish, and also just saving them for the long weekend that we have ahead of us.
It is a long weekend of action. It's a long season as well, and there's the move. Now we start to pick things up. It's Pettersson leading the way. Aibek Nassen Not a name we've seen often as part of this Kazakh side. Of course, new season, you'll see a lot of new names jumping up into the picture, and it is Nassim now on the front. Robin Bendig is a name we've seen quite a bit. He's sniffing around for the German Wolves, trying to make a move into second. The pace is faster, but it's not all hands at the pumps just yet, it feels. And Bendig up into second, up into the lead in one single straightaway.
Still 5 laps to go. You got to make sure you don't empty the tank too early. Nassim making his way back to the lead.
And it's the Nomad wandering his way back to the front.
Got our British Royal making a move on the outside. No, looking back inside now.
Riches.
Oh, great setup by Riches there, actually.
And now he loses it right back again as Peterson.
Can't relax for a moment.
Riches had the outside to inside move and then gives it away and now takes it right back again. 3 men going for the line. It is Nassim leading the way, and it's a race for second on, and I think Riches hangs on.
It's a great battle by Riches and Pedersen there. Some back and forth punches being thrown. Pretty exciting.
A look at what makes short track fun.
What Riches did really well there on that inside pass was he moved out wide. He gave an opportunity to himself to build speed as he went through the corner and cut up the inside. So Riches didn't see that one coming. Or sorry, Pedersen didn't see that coming from Riches.
Nomads kit. Be out shortly. It'll have a horse on it.
So here's Riches inside pass. This was a different one. Nice clean jump by there. Defending tight here. This was on the last lap. Coming to the finish. No room for Pedersen to get by.
We will all wait to see. And don't think Pedersen will be one of the advancings in third place. Looks like there's just the 2 Qs next to the name. You'll see the board coming up in just a moment. There it is. Pedersen unable to get out. On. So we now start to finalize who gets to advance. Rudek Nassim and Peter Riches moving on. One more heat to go in this 1,500 meters, and then the break for the women's 1,500. Another ice spider, Zdenek Seipal, Tobias Wolf, Jonas Hammermuller, Peter Murphy of the Luxembourg side, Roberts Kreuzbergs of our first look at our skater out of Latvia. The Latvian Golden Stars, I might add. And then Yang Chen Rui of the Hong Kong Ice Chilins. Kreuzbergs is an interesting one for me. He was shut out of the medals on the World Cup circuit last year, but he does have some success.
He'll be looking to change that this season.
Number 82 from Austria, Wolf.
Peter Murphy.
85 from the German Wolves, Jonas Hammermuller. Number 130 from Luxembourg, Peter Murphy. Number 19 from the Latvian Golden Stars, Robert Kreuzbergs. And
Luxembourg.
from the Hong Kong Ice Chilins.
These heats are a great way for these skaters to get their racing sense back. You know, it's been a couple months since they've had this caliber of racing. They need to get their feet wet, get their feet back underneath them, figure out their racing again, get a feel for where they're at amongst their competitors.
It is still Murphy on the front, Kreuzbergs right behind him. Everyone line astern at the moment. Nobody really trying to make a move. There's a little bit of a feint there at the back as Hammermuller takes a look. Now Hammermuller makes a move on the outside. Trying to eat up a lot of ground. He sneaks up into fourth, and then there was a bit of a bump. Now he will assure himself that fourth position at the moment.
Murphy's really keeping this pace going at the front. I think he knows if he can get that top 3 position, he's pushing the time right now, that's going to get him through to the quarterfinals.
And there is Kreuzberg's taking the lead. St. Paul, the Ice Spider.
Murphy's got to hold on to this 3rd position here. We can see him fighting a little bit. He has to stay on. There's a gap behind him to 4th.
Here comes Yang into 4th, trying to close that gap on 3rd and make a move. Murphy is a bigger skater. It's a lot to get around. He's trying to hang on. Yang does make that move, and Murphy's thrown off a little bit now. Now it's 2 clear skaters in front. The Spider, the Golden Star, and it's Kreuzberg's back on the front comfortably with the move there. It will be Roberts Kreuzberg's first race for the Golden Stars, first race win for the Golden Stars.
Kreuzberg making a little pass there in the last lap on the outside. Not needed for him to do that, but I think it was a good little training opportunity to practice that pass that he may have to use later this weekend.
There was a bit of a bump at one point, but I don't think that is getting reviewed. They will, of course, confirm and just sort of confirm the results, but they are already getting the ice ready for resurfacing. Murphy hanging on the front for so long, but just wasn't able to see things through. Here's the move by St. Paul to 2nd. And I believe we are confirmed as they get the ice ready for resurfacing. We are being told that racing will resume in just under 15 minutes or so. So just getting our feet wet here in the first block of races in qualifying Friday. There's the wide shot. There's the confirmation of the results. Kreuzberg's through. Zdenek Sejbal moving on as well. So we're getting the feel, some of those new team identities, some of those new looks, the new kits. Some kids are coming in. They're going to create a little nice fun atmosphere as we move into the 500 meters coming up, women's 500. As the lights go down, Zamboni comes up. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in just a bit.
peut commencer avec la distance de 500 mètres. Nous allons commencer avec les femmes. 6 courses chez les femmes, malheureusement pas de Canadiennes. Par contre, les hommes vont embarquer pas longtemps après 11 courses et nous allons voir le champion canadien en titre, William Nangilou. William sera dans la 3e course des 500 mètres. J'aimerais saluer tous les écoles qui sont ici avec nous aujourd'hui. Nous avons l'école I-12, l'école Saint-Nom-de-Jésus, l'école Saint-Raymond, école Pierre-Louis-Bertin, école Pierre-Rosaré, école Jeanne Levert, école Jean-Paul Piopel, école Marguerite de la Jemeraie, école Nouvelle École Secondaire et l'école Cardinal Roy. Bienvenue à toutes les écoles qui sont ici avec nous ce matin. Nous allons avoir plein d'actions pour vous ce matin. Mais par contre, un petit rappel on demande le silence complet avant le début des courses. Oui, silencieux quand les athlètes sont à la ligne de départ. Par contre, dès qu'on entend le fusil, vous allez pouvoir voir le plus de bruit possible pour encourager les athlètes. So we ask for complete silence before the start of racing, but once the gun goes, you can make all the noise you want. Racing will resume in a couple seconds.
Italia! Italia! Pizza! Allez, nous,
It's the Wildcats, the Wolves, the Gladiators, and the Racing Roos on the line. Yermak, Dubrova, Muska, Filippi, and Kim. 2 moving on. 3 moving on, pardon me, and up to 2 fastest 4th place skaters from these 6 heats. And these skaters have actually been recalled, like something off the start.
Wearing number 67 from the Ukrainian Wildcats, Juliana
Yermak, who is the top-ranked skater in this heat, 32nd in the world in the 500 meters.
And wearing number 80 from the Australian
Filippi,
newcomer
newcomer to the circuit this year. Potentially there was a false start, I'm not sure, but I think it was just didn't like how the start went off. So
1, false start.
2-2. There was a false start, and that is Malika Yermak penalized for it. No second chances, of course. Now it's 4 skaters on the line. Adds a different wrinkle to this race, to be sure. Now it's Uliana Dubrova of Ukraine as the top-ranked skater. She's 63rd in the world. Now we're down to 4. And they don't make it through the corner. I don't think that has anything to do with the false start. I think that's just too much contact going into that first corner, so they'll be called back to the line to do this again. So often in the 500 meters, they're so hard off the line. And when they don't get through the corner, they get brought back and they'll do it again. And so immediately, Filippi and Muska go to get their blades looked at. see. Muska looks to be all in good shape. He just turned 21 back in August. Kim of the Racing Ruse.
Go, start.
Let's see if third time's the charm. Always holding your breath into that first corner. They've brought a bunch of school children out to really create a nice atmosphere, and it's quite fun to see athletes running around warming up, and they're getting high fives from the kids. And this race is finally well underway, and it is Filippi, the gladiator, on the front, being stalked by the wolf, and a wildcat, and a racing room. It is Filippi. Actually just turned 22 the other day on the 19th, and will celebrate somewhat belatedly with a race win here in the preliminaries in the 500 meters. Katja Filippi picking up the race win here at the Maurice Richard Arena. Took 3 starts, but we get a clean race there through, nothing needing another look. I don't think so, actually. Let's see. I don't see any yellow cards. Perhaps I'm mistaken. Hang on.
After review, we got a penalty for number 15 from Kazakhstan.
Ah, that would be the false start off the top. So the race itself was clean, but they're just confirming that false start. There are the results. The 3 moving on automatically. Filippi, Muska, and Dubrova. And now Kim will await her fate, that 45.678. We'll see if it holds up. Up to 2 of the fastest 4th place skaters will go. It's 6 heats.
Go to the start.
And everybody safely through the corner. It's Ariana Siegel. Never mind. Back we go. They almost got around that corner before Holly Hoyland of the British Royals goes down. So close to making it through. Hoyland initially stumbles, and then there was, looks like she just went down on her own. So we'll go back again. It gives me a chance to go through this entire running order. Ariana Siegel, Italian Gladiators. Katarina Buric, Croatian Dalmatians. Hoyland, as I mentioned, of the Royals. Lisa Eckstein of the German Wolves. And Leah Mead of the New Zealand Ice Kias. Always interesting to see where these skaters spent some of their off-season. Eckstein there right at the back, was in Vienna, and then actually did a bit of time in the States. So they're training on the track rather than do it on the bike. Anyway, at the front, it's Ariana Siegel comfortably in front. It really is the name that stands out from this field. And of course, the Seagal siblings, Pietro brother. And Seagal, now it's closing up. Hoyland right up. There's 3 skaters there in close quarters. Eckstein trying to close things up a little bit, but Seagal leading wire to wire. Hoyland in second. And Katarina Buric of the Dalmatians in third. Eckstein, 45.52. Now she will sit and wait very much on the hot seat now. Investigated there either. We did not see any cards pop up, so we'll move right along here. Number 3 has Barbara Somogi, the Hungarian Falcons. Lam Qingyan of Hong Kong Ice Chillens. Gwendolyn Daudet, French Rooster. Zeynep Kumarken, Kazakh Nomads. And then Thea Johansson, Sweden. Confirmation of those results. Seagal, Hoyland, and Buric moving on. Eckstein now needs to sweat things out through the next few races. Fortunately, these 500 meters tend to be pretty quick, so it's not that long of waiting. Doesn't make it any easier, though. The 5 are already on the line.
Go with the start.
The dash into the corner. Everybody wants to get into that first position. And out of position 1, it's Barbara Somogi leading things away. Lam, the Hong Kong Ice Chillens in second, and Gwendolyn Daudet, who admitted to not really having a season to her liking last year. She was part of that training group in Bormio, where another number of countries took part. And it is Barbara Somogi flying away with this one. It is a Falcon soaring high here in Montreal. Barbara Somogi comfortable to race for second. 3 skaters there. It does look like Lam Qingyan hanging on for second. Nice win though for Barbara Somogi, Hungarian Falcons. And another race that survived without the need for any reviews. So important in those 500 meters. There's a reason they need to do a lot of those restarts, is because it's urgent to get into that corner in a 500 meters. If possible, in position 1 or as near the front as possible. And Somogi is position 1 on the line, dashed into the corner first and never truly looked back. Still filing in. Pack a couple thousand in here, I'm sure. Adding to the atmosphere. Also really cool for them with the athletes running around here, warming up, really getting face to face with them. A lot of them are running by, giving high fives. There's confirmation of the results. Somogi leading the way. Lam in second, Daudet in third, and Zeynep Kumarken so now on the clock. Number 4, Tenika Dendalk, the Belgian Ice Bears. Kanai Rika of the Japanese Ninjas. Our first look at the White Tigers of Korea. Very storied program. It's Choi Min Jung. Certainly one to look for here. Anjal Dalanon of the Netherlands, the truly gifted junior skater, and Paulina Klevstuen of the Norwegian Vikings.
Go to start.
Down on a world champion of the long track in the oval. Had some experience on World Cup last season, a couple of the first stops, but he's certainly one to watch for the future, if not the present. And it's Choi of Korea, the White Tigers skating away from this one, comfortably in charge, off to a blistering pace. Kane trying to stay in second, and here comes Delman of the Netherlands, making a push for second, but far and away on the last lap, it is Choi Min-jong, one race with the newly branded White Tigers, one win for them. And it's a close one for second. Delman. Kanai Rika. Dutch side, a few changes. Skaters moving on. Suzanne Schulting still not ready to race. She, you might remember, crashed at the World Championships. Suffered a serious injury. I believe there was a break. And she said she's still not ready to handle the corners of short track. She's been doing some long track work. So Suzanne Schulting, I think she said she was aiming for Beijing. And there's a real sight on the ice right now. We did just see the skater pick up the win. Choi Min-jong picking up the win. And there's a pretty big name out on the ice right now. I'm just teasing you for now, but there's confirmation of the results. Choi Min-jong, Angel Delman, and Kanai Rika. To move on, Tinka Dendalk has to sit and wait. Waiting is over for the first look at that new helmet for the Crystal Globe winner, the immensely talented Kim Gilly, 1500 meter world champion. Now Kim, not one of the pre-qualified in the 500 meters. That is because she is more of a 1,000, 1,500, but if she's looking for the Crystal Globe this year, she will have to do 500. So here we are in the qualifiers, but it's Corin Stoddard of the USA Eagles in front right now. And then it's Kim, Nakashima Mide of the Japanese Ninjas, and Chloé Olivier of the French Roosters. Pretty loaded field, but right now it's Stoddard and Kim, 1 and 2, and Kim moves back into the lead. Can she hold it? Stoddard going really right up behind Kim there, really close things up, but it is the front two comfortably in front. It really is going to be a battle for third, and it is Nakashima heading in for third, and Chloé Olivier in fourth. But that's the first look. She doesn't have the silver hair this year. She kind of lost that look for the World Championships, I remember, because she was the silver-haired dynamo, but the Crystal Globe winner is off and running for the new season. Another good win and a result as well for Corin Stoddard, bronze medal from the 1500 meters in Rotterdam. So for a preliminary 500 meter race, we had 2 podium finishers from last year's World Championships in the 1500. Pretty star-studded, I'd say. So that is the new wrinkle that's added, where instead of having some individual events doubled up, each one is done individually. And so you see skaters going for the Crystal Globe, doing the events that maybe they wouldn't be skating under the old format. So there we have perhaps more distance-suited skaters going in, and there you have it, Kim, Stoddard, Nakashima. Into the next next heat. And everyone safely through the corner. Zheng Chutong of the Chinese Lungs leading the way. Behind her is Petra Yashapati of the Hungarian Falcons. Kurokawa Ki of the Japanese Ninjas, and then finishing things up is Una Wilhoit of the USA Eagles. And it's Zhang leading the way right now. At the bell, it is Zhang and Yashapati not wanting to risk anything right now. Those two will be comfortably over the line. And then Kurokawa finishing in third, getting that last spot. Wilhoit of the United States finishing in fourth. So now we'll get a look at who will actually be moving on from those 500 meters. And the first men's 500-meter skaters are out. The results, and Wilhoit will qualify. Zhang Chutong, Petra Yashapati, Kurokawa Ki all going through automatically, and Wilhoit does move on as one of the fourth fastest times. The other one's going through Chloé Olivier of France, and that is it. So we do know who will be moving on directly. And now we jump over to the men's 500-meter preliminaries. There are 11 heats. Only the winner and up to 9 of the fastest second-place skaters moving on. We're already diving into things, moving along quite quickly here. I'll get into them once we safely get through that first corner. And safely through 5 skaters. It's Zach Delat of the Dutch Lions in front. Abzal Ashgaliev of the Nomads in second. There's Kim Gun-woo of the Korean White Tigers in third. Murat Tatachi of the Anatolian Pars in fourth. And then in fourth right now is Yan Chen Rui of the Ice Chilins. And it's a battle between really 4 skaters at the front. At the moment, it is Ashgaliev in front. Here comes Kim Gun-woo making a move on the outside in that bright gold helmet. Kim hits the front, takes the win, and there will be a review there. So much happening in quick succession. And Kim, who had 2 wins on the World Cup circuit last year. He won the 1,000 here in Montreal, one of the 1,000s here in Montreal, and he won a 1,500 meter in Beijing. Looks like the incident has been cleared. That's when the little yellow dot in the corner turns green. But Kim, another one of those skaters who's not in the top 20 in the 500 meters, and so that's why he's out here early in the preliminaries. Looked pretty comfortable there, picking up the win. It's Zach Delat, the helmet designer, coming in third. And there's Ashgaliev now with the clock next to his name, and he will wait and see. Second heat's already back on. There are some repairs getting done, so I do have a bit of time here to go through heat number 2. Czech Ice Spiders, Radek Fajkus, Peter Joseph Rosclose. Up next, the young man, the Philippine Tamarao. Lucas Warren of the Racing Ruse, Tobias Wolf of Austria, and Park Ji-won. There he is, Crystal Globe winner, but here he is in a preliminary race. Not usually his thing. That's a fun little addition that he's not in the top 20, so he's having to go through these qualifying stretches. Have a look at that brand new designed helmet. And Gross Clothes, talked about him earlier. Young man, youth Olympian. He was on the east coast of the United States, born on the west coast of the United States. And interesting. And they are going to bring that one back. Park collided with Lucas Wareham, and I was just noticing Park Ji-won all the way out in position 5.
That's a tough place to start, Gavin. You got to get off the line in a hurry, and I thought Park Ji-won did a great job of that. You have to be aggressive when you're in lane 5. It's the hardest position to start from, and you got to get to that lead.
So there was the little bump there between Wareham and Park. He had gotten just about up into 3rd even before they got around the corner. But yeah, I was musing to myself, Tyler, about the interesting dynamic of this, where he's got that nice new helmet. He's the two-time Crystal Globe winner, but this isn't really his specialty.
No, certainly not his specialty, the 500 meter. He really loves the 15 and the 1,000 meter, of course. But with the Crystal Globe, you want to collect as many points as you can, and that's what he's looking to do here. With this new format, he's going to try to race every race that he can. And we'll see if that continues throughout the season, because they may start picking and choosing so they don't fatigue themselves too much, because it's a long year ahead. But coming out first weekend, grab as many points.
And it might be interesting to see if their ranking in this one discipline doesn't really improve and they're stuck doing the preliminaries every single time.
Right, it's an extra round of every distance potentially.
Take 2. And everybody safely through this time, and Park just decides to wait in 5th. Jumps up to 4th in the first corner. Still has a long way to go. It's Ficus in front, and it's Gross Clothes in 2nd, and Gross Clothes making the move into the lead, the young man, the 17-year-old. And Ficus taking it right back, but look out, here comes Park Ji-won.
So strong. He's running crossovers almost all the way around the track. He's making this into a circle rather than an oval.
He still hasn't done it just yet. Still waiting in 3rd. It's Gross Clothes in front. Now it's Park on the front. Last lap, it is going to be Park taking it. Nice finish for Gross Clothes with the Philippines, and a nice little bow for the Crystal Globe winner.
Fantastic move by Park there. You know what? I think he went over to his coaches. They said, you know, you have the speed. You can relax a little bit on the start. Use your acceleration off the turn. Build out wide. Stay on the outside. Play it safe. And he did just that to claim the victory.
How's that for the young man from the Philippines, representing the Philippines, or the Philippine side, the Tamaraos, going toe-to-toe with the two-time Crystal Globe winner. Bit of a thrilling moment, I'm sure. But it was Ficus and Gross Clothes for so long, but then look who just comes up, chews up that space, and when he's there, I think you know what's going to happen.
You can see Park Ji-won extending those corners. You get so much speed off those crossovers using that lead, and he just keeps it going all the way.
Now you may be hearing the cheers. It's our first ice maple of the weekend. And it is defending 1,000-meter world champion, the man who's a 1,500-meter specialist, really. But now, if he's wanting a Crystal Globe, William Dongenew is having to do a 500 meters. And so he was actually getting a nice round of applause when he was warming up on the track from the students. Really neat to see.
He's going to have a little extra jump in his step with his home crowd.
Other racers, the Nomad, Gleb Ivchenko, Furkan Akar, Asem Gurov, and Sui Chin. And Dongenew again, position 5. Everybody makes it through. Dongenew looked like he was, oh, what a move. Looked like he was going to try to jump up early, but then he saw that opening, jumped right in front. Look at that from William Danjanu.
Incredible start by Danjanu. He just stayed on the outside of that first turn and kept building his speed, working on the outside to inside maneuver, just beautiful.
Now he is just pulling away. It looked like for a moment he thought he'd try to go for the front on that first corner, thought better of it, and then he saw that opening. And this one is going to be William Danjanu, Ice Maple win number 1 in Montreal.
Patience that's what it takes here. You got to be relaxed. It's a 500, it's a sprint, it's quick, but you got to make your way to the front, but don't panic about it. Don't make a desperate maneuver that's going to get you into trouble.
Buoyed on by the home fans. There were skaters behind him too, I might add. But that race belonged to William Danjanu. Not bad for a guy who doesn't really do these. Lebivchenko, the Kazakh Nomads in second place. Akar not able to get up there in third, and nothing is getting a second look.
Danjanu looking really strong in this first race. Great to see. Lots of confidence in every turn. No stumbles at that top speed. It's going to be fun to watch these guys in the later rounds.
Almost a little skip at the line. The man who defended his Canadian championship not too long ago. Really enjoying the moment. He's playing to these kids, playing to the crowd. They're loving it.
40.5. That is an impressive time here in Montreal. So let's keep an eye on these finishing times, but that's quite a bit faster than any of the other races we've seen thus far.
And moving into the next heat. Oleg Hyundai, Ukraine Wildcats, Ward Petre, the big man from Belgium, the Belgian Ice Bears, Kwok Fung, Linus Risnes, and Dan Koss of the Dutch Lions. Hyundai, the nice burst off the line. It's always so important to get into that corner first, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you look at the stats of a 500 meter, to win the race, you're going to see that most of the time from the skater in position 1 on the line.
And clock goes down, and it is Hyundai in front. Petre, he's a big guy. In a sport where a lot of athletes are shorter in stature, he's a big fella. But look at coming up, Dan Koss of the Dutch Lions.
Koss has closed that gap really quick. Hyundai has already done a 1500 meter, which we saw him battling in. So this is a quick turnaround for him.
And it is Hyundai who's getting the reach the line. I think he saw at the last second that he was coming under a bit of a challenge. Stuck his skate out, and I think he took it just in time.
Really quick start from Hyundai. Again, coming off a quick turnaround from the 1500 meter. I'm sure at the end there, his legs were starting to feel it a little bit. He'll get a little bit more rest now before his next race.
Koss, 21 years old.
There's Hyundai out to the quick lead. Really nice start from him. Koss, you can see him setting up wide here. See how wide he is on the Belgian skater?
So Hyundai got advanced out of the 1500 meters. Looks like he won there. You see at the last second, he noticed Koss was coming and knew, I got to stick out my skate. It was a split-second decision.
Yeah, he relaxed for a moment. You can't afford to do that ever in short track. Someone's always gunning for you. You see that sometimes a skater will relax right before that line, and they'll just get sniped right at the finish.
And this is only the winner automatically moving on. So that skate blade might have been the difference between automatic advancement and essentially sitting and waiting, or maybe even not advancing. There you have confirmation. Hyundai by a matter of several hundredths of a second over Dan Koss. So yes, that reach at the line could be a big difference. In the next round, already on the ice. Let's run through them. Position 1 is Kyle Ross-Waddell, British Royals. Enzo Prost of the Belgian Ice Bears, Yaroslav Morozov, Wildcats of Ukraine, Ryan McAnuff, the Irish Wolfhounds, and Mika Klevstuen, the Norwegian Vikings. Norway, they're more, honestly, of distance long track is sort of their wheelhouse. I know Jeremy Weatherspoon, the Norwegian sprint coach, says, you know, a lot of kids want to get into distance skating in the Netherlands, so sprinting on long track is difficult. Short track is a whole other matter altogether.
Yeah, not a huge culture of short track in Norway, but hopefully we're seeing some change. Great to see a Norwegian team here with a couple different members.
Hold your breath, everybody through the corner, and there you have it. Cliff Stewart all the way already up to second from position 5. It's Kyle Ross-Waddell out of the British Royal side. He is 23 years old, actually just turned 23 earlier this month, and at the moment it's Ross-Waddell going away from the field, and it's a real battle for second.
Gap closing a little bit on Ross-Waddell here as he comes to the final lap. You can't keep it too tight. You got to keep building here as the following skaters are closing that gap.
Now it's a matter of hanging on. What's left in the legs? Ross-Waddell is going to be pushed at the line. Here comes Cliff Stewart. No, it is Ross-Waddell just hanging on. Enzo Prost, the Belgium in third there. You see a little fist pump there from Mika Kleftsjoen of the Norwegian Vikings. I think he liked that race.
Nice clean skate by Ross-Waddell, coached by Richard Shoebridge, Great Britain. Team's doing, looking quite good this weekend. One thing for Ross-Waddell there in the closing lap, starting to tighten up his track a little bit. That was losing a bit of speed for him. That's what allowed for that tight finish, but he held on to it right to the line.
So just seeing how they compare. Interesting to see a lot of them. They're all in the 41-second time frame, these second place finishers. So they're going to be very tight decisions on who gets advanced, because 9 of the fastest 11. So just about everybody who finishes second should be confident, but there will be 2 unfortunate who will not move on. Of course, if there are advancements, then that all changes. Confirmation of the results there on the board. And moving right along to the next heat of Austria, Nico Andermann, Danilo Fedorenko, Wildcat, Ivan Martinic, Croatian Dalmatians, Peter Murphy of Luxembourg, and Peter Riches, the Battles of the Peters, in position 4 and 5. Andermann is the top-ranked skater in this field, ranked number 43 in the 500 meters. He is being closely marked by Danilo Fedorenko, pretty much as they were on the line. It is Riches now making a move, trying to close up on the front 2.
Fedorenko setting up on the outside here, see if he tries to hook it tight inside. Oh, the door has been closed.
Defending by Nico Andermann. At the bell, Riches into second. Is he going to try to make a move on the lead? He has a bit of space to make up. Nice defensive work, start to finish. Nico Andermann takes it wire to wire.
Nice move by Riches to move into second there. Fedorenko had gone for his inside pass. He ran up on the skater in front of him. He lost some speed. Riches was able to capitalize on that and move into second. Again, he's a skater who just come off the 1,500 meters, so this is a big quick turnaround for these skaters and a completely different distance. So they got to change their mindset, their race tactics, go from 1,500 distance racing to 500 meters sprinting just probably 1 hour later.
That's just the beginning of the weekend. They have a long way to go here, especially when there are potentials for repechage races and everything still to come. A lot of the skaters have been here all week, I believe.
Yeah, most of them would have come in on Sunday or Monday, got a couple ice sessions in, get familiar with the ice. Every ice surface is a little bit different. You know, how does the ice feel? Is it grippy? You know, is it more of a speed track where it's harder to make tight turns on, but you carry a lot of speed? So everywhere you go, you got to fine-tune your setup, tweak your blades a little bit, get familiar with the ice. So they want that time before that competition to get adjusted.
I did hear the word soft yesterday.
Yeah, the ice was getting a little bit soft, and it'll be something to watch for over the course of the weekend. As we bring in more fans into the arena, that actually warms up the air temperature, and then that's all kind of working against the coolers or the chillers of the ice, so it starts to make it a little bit softer, and you add flood after flood throughout the course of the day. So you kind of see the ice conditions change from the morning to the afternoon.
Next heat coming up, Hiroki Yokoyama of the Japanese Ninjas. There he is right there. Lorenzo Previtali, Italian Gladiators, Matthias Wolfgang of Austria, Robin Bendig of the German Wolves, and Frederick Pedersen of the Norwegian Vikings. One spot guaranteed to move on. And there is a false start, the double gun. That could mean we could be reduced by one skater. You've seen it already.
With that rule change, no false starts, right? The athletes have to be extremely careful. We'll see what the officials' call is here. The starters' call. Yves Michaud, very experienced starter.
It was instantaneous too. The one that we saw earlier, they almost got around the corner before they were brought back. Let's take a look. That was very close. I'd say. Eagle eye spotting that one. Let's see.
It appears that Wolfgang has been called for a false start and is leaving the ice.
It is Matthias Wolfgang. And he was in the third position there. So we're down to 4. Safely away, everybody surviving through that first corner. And out of position 1, it is Yokoyama leading the way, Lorenzo Previtali.
So something to note on those false starts, Wolfgang was position 3. Once he's removed from the ice, the skaters in position 4 and 5 will then move over to his starting lane.
Still in front, Yokoyama fending off the attack from Previtali, but Bendig's also entered the conversation. Look on the outside from Previtali, now diving into the middle, and he makes the move. Can he make it stick just in time? Lorenzo Previtali takes it.
Great patience there by Previtali, positioning himself on the outside there, allowing him to take the exit nice and tight and make that inside pass.
Second look. Looks like apart from a false start, it was a clean race. As we've learned, they will still announce that false start.
Yokoyama, incredible foot speed here as we watch him skate. One thing I felt throughout the race is he never really settled. He's really attacking it all the time. That started to fatigue him by the end. And I think that's where we saw his speed declining and opening the door for Previtali to make this inside move. You see, he sets up wide on the entry of the corner. He can hook it tight on the exit, get to the lead of the race.
Already rolling through 8 of 11. And after that, we move into the 1,000 meters for the first time this weekend, for the first time this season, for the first time in the new World Tour era. There's the photo.
Yokoyama holding on to that finish, not wanting to give up that second. That time might be a little bit slower though, so we'll see if that is enough to get him through.
Only 2 of the second place finishers won't be advanced, if there are no advancements, that is. And so lining up in the next heat is in position 1. There's confirmation of the results. Previtali in first. There is still the clock next to Yokoyama's name, so he's still a possibility, of course, to move on.
And no advancements yet at this point, so times are looking good.
Every time. So heat number 8, Yangun Ben Jung of the German Wolves, Miyata Shogo of the Japanese Ninjas, Peter Yashapati of the Hungarian Falcons, Liam O'Brien, Irish Wolfhounds, and Toprak Efe Eroglu of the Turkish Anatolian Pars. No false start, everyone safely through. Nice work by Miyata to get into second, and look at him fly. Is this too fast, too early? Can he hold this on now? Because if he keeps this race is all but over.
He exploded off of that start line. Just generated so much speed in that first lap. If he can keep this gap open, he's going to be safe. You want to be out of trouble, but you got to watch because those skaters closing have more speed than you. So they're going to be coming at you fast. But we got 1 lap to go. He's still got a bit of a gap here.
And it is still Miata in front. Hanging on for now. He will take this race, still with a good enough gap, and he really built up that lead. He still had a nice gap at the end. He was in for the battle for second. Jung, the German Wolves, finishing just ahead of Iashapati.
Miata with a 41.1. That's a solid time there. One of the quicker races again that we've seen. Look at this start. Powers right to the corner, wins that start, doesn't look back.
That's another one. Will not see anyone penalized, anyone advanced. Another clean race. This might be the first weekend of the season, but these 500-meter skaters looking really like they're at their very best already. Next heat's already out on the ice. There's Miata, an example of the names on the back of the jerseys now, or back of the kits. Confirmation of those results. Yangun Ben Jung. The German Wolves will now sit and wait. And running through into the next heat. Uranus Berzins, the Latvian Golden Stars out. He's one who's got some hardware on the international circuit. Joshua Ka, the New Zealand Ice Kias. Stefan Alexander Kumurjev of the Bulgarian Kings. Niall Tracy, the British Royals. Sean McAnuff of the Irish Wolfhounds. Everybody safely through. Nice move by Kumurjev to get up into second. It is Berzins, who's ranked 46th in the 500. Coming in and now making the move, Tracy. British Royals getting up into second.
Niall Tracy looking very comfortable here in second. Positioning himself on that outside shoulder here, looking to set up a pass.
Berzins trying to hang on. Here comes Tracy. Berzins knows where he is. Takes the inside line. Berzins almost off balance. Who takes it at the line? I think Tracy took it.
I think Tracy snuck it there. Great work on that last corner. Staying patient, positioning wide, getting a good exit off that turn. Not trying to dive in inside and get pinched off. He could tell the skater in front of him was going to hold that line tight. Kept it going on the outside.
Berzins off balance. He knew where Tracy was the entire time, so it wasn't a mystery to him. But I do wonder what went through their head there. But he did slip at the line. But it looks like Tracy did sneak up to take that one. And earlier on, there was an incident there. Joshua Ka going out. I think he went off on his own. But here's a look at the end here.
Yeah, I think Berzins was expecting Tracy to try to take him on the inside. Typically, when you feel that skater setting you up on the outside, they're going to try to hook you tight. But Tracy kept it going outside. Berzins wasn't expecting that, so he kept it tight, opening that middle lane for Tracy to grab him.
That's about that distance. But Berzins also, you mentioned looking on the outside. That's where he lost his balance. It looks like he was trying to reach, but just didn't have the foot to be able to reach it forward that well. So there are the results. Tracy with the cue. Berzins with the clock.
So usually in these earlier rounds, these preliminary rounds, we see bigger gaps of ability because we have the stronger skaters mixed in with some of the slower skaters, if you will. However, with this format of removing the top 20, that's really tightening up the ability gap here and making the racing a lot tighter. You know, more meaningful racing, we might call it, because the skaters are close together and having to make maneuvers like this. So great to see. Yeah,
those qualifying days often, like you just say, often they'd be pretty spread out, and so the drama would be less. But it is some pretty good racing so far already. Fixing the ice ice there.
Yeah, we saw when Tracy shot his blade for the line, his toe coming up with that heel really dig into the ice. So just repairing that, making sure there's no issues with the ice surface there, so the skaters in the following races have a clean track to skate on.
So looks like we're going to set up, and you mentioned some of the close rankings we have coming up. Martin Kolenc, the Croatian Dalmatians, will be in position 1. He's ranked 47th. Lucas McDonald of the New Zealand Ice Kias is ranked 51st, and then a couple others are just a few spots apart in the world rankings. So could be some good battles here coming up. There's Seungmin Kwon, the USA Eagles youngster, Iwasa Dan of the Japanese Ninjas, and Zdenek Sepal of the Czech Ice Spiders. Everybody safely through, and it's Kolenc leading the way.
McDonald facing some battles there on the opening turn, which really affected his speed on that first corner exit, dropping into the back.
There is Kwon, a 21-year-old American, initially born in Korea, in Daejeon, now lives in Rockville, Maryland, taking the lead. You see the beginning of something big for this young man. He can potentially take his first race here in Montreal, and he does just that. Kolenc does finish in second place.
Kwon skating there nice and relaxed throughout the race. Nice composure from this young skater.
I think he was just biding his time there, sitting right up behind Kolenc.
Another look at the start here. Lucas McDonald gets pinched off by Kwon a little bit on the entry. Hard to build speed when you don't have a clean entry on that corner. Skaters behind you don't get infracted or able to get by. Kwon here looking so relaxed. Nice to see that composure from a young skater.
We will see him again. Once again, another clean race, looking to do the clean sweep. I don't think we've had any penalizations and any advancements for 500 meters.
Don't see that every day.
No, I was just thinking that.
But great clean racing from these skaters.
So it might look like every one of the advancements will come from those second place finishers. 9 of 11. We'll see if we can make the clean sweep here coming up. Jonas Hammermuller of the German Wolves, Ivan Donchev, the Bulgarian Kings, Mark Chismadia of the Hungarian Falcons, and Tarik Omaragic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And they're going from that far back line there, so they have all that time to set things up. Almost seems less desperate than when they have the start line closer to the front.
Well, the track actually will move in coordination with the start line to that first turn, so it looks like they're quite far back on this side. However, the blocks have shifted towards them on the track.
And it is Hammermuller in front. Oh, and there is a skater down. That is actually Hammermuller off the front. The complexion of this race changes, and so might we might end that perfect streak anyway. Finishing first, Komorchev over the line. Donchev over the line. That's a win for the Bulgarian Kings. See what happens now.
Get a replay. Look for a replay on Hammermuller here. Only 4 skaters in this race.
So it's Hammermuller off the front, looking well in control. And then, I'll admit, I missed this one. Yeah. My head was down. It always happens when your head is down.
No, I think this is just Hammermuller falling on his own accord, just maybe the ice breaking out. Let's see, yeah, right foot, ice just chipping away on him.
Now what does that, the agony of knowing, oops, I'm feeling it going, oh no, I'm out.
Yeah, you know when it's strictly yourself going down like that, there's no one impeding you. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of your racing in that event, but you can have a shot to come back in the repechage.
One of those time standing still moments where you just feel it, oh, I can't do anything about this. There you go. Ivan Donchev moving on. Omaragic, his time not enough to move on. We'll see with the other one, and it's Peter Riches who finished second in Heat 6, who will not qualify in second place. So just about every other second place finisher does move through.
And that's the tough part of this advancement, you know, if there's only one plus time, you're never safe as the second skater.
And the lights go down. The Zambonis come out. We are going to take a bit of a break. Looks like it's, again, just under 15 minutes before the women's 1,000 meters gets underway. It will be the women's 1,000 meter preliminaries. From here in Montreal, talk to you soon.
nous sommes à 2 minutes. Les courses, nous allons commencer avec les femmes pour la distance de 1000 mètres. 6 courses chez les femmes et 11 courses chez les messieurs. Nous allons voir 2 Canadiens dans cette première vague. Nous allons voir la Canadienne Guignao et dans la première vague. Et les hommes, nous allons voir Jordan Pierchil. J'aimerais saluer tous les écoles qui sont ici avec nous. Bienvenue à l'école I-12, école Saint-Nom du Jésus, école Saint-Méron, école Pierre de Gouvernet, école des Roselets, école Jean Lebert, école Jean-Paul Diapel, école Marguerite de la Journée, nouvelle école secondaire et l'école Cardinal Roy. Bienvenue à tous nos étudiants. Nous avons plein d'actions encore pour vous ce matin avec les distances de 1000 mètres, 9 tours de piste. Racing will be starting in only a few seconds here. The skaters are on the ice. Et nous pouvons voir portant le bonnet numéro 81 du Canada, Kenya.
Women's 1,000 meters preliminaries. There will be 6 heats. You've already seen the start list. Position 1, Dita van Oerschaat of the Netherlands, Yamana Rina of Japan. The Japanese Ninjas, Petra Vankova of the Ice Spiders, Ki Miao, the young Canadian, the Ice Maples, and Thea Johansson of Sweden. And it is Ki Miao taking the lead at the front. Courtney Saho, the Canadian veteran, not here for this one. She still feeling some injury issues, and Ki Miao had a pretty good national championships and is here representing the Ice Maples.
I'd like to see Ki Miao take the lead early while it's slow, position herself at the front, because this 1,000's going to pick up quickly here.
There's Dita van Oerschaat. The Dutch Lions, no Yara van Kerkhoff this year, the veteran deciding to call it a career for the Dutch. She was really one of their real stabilizing presences in the relay.
Oerschaat looking over her shoulder, seeing if anyone's trying to make a move, checking every time. I'd like to see that awareness while they're skating.
She is the top-ranked skater in this heat anyway, but it's 3 at the front, and there is Yamana taking the lead. Ki Miao now trying to make a move for second. Going to be tight into that corner. She makes it stick. Home fans trying to cheer on the young Canadian. The top 3 do move on, so they are in a comfortable position. Will be 2 of the fastest 4th place skaters moving on, so nothing getting a second look there. Pretty by the books. First heat of the 1,000 meters.
Great race by Yamana there. Nice move to the lead. Ki Miao showing great composure for a young skater there. That's going to give her some confidence into this World Tour.
Certainly showed no fear diving into some of the corners with Dita van Oerschaat, the Dutch Lions skater who does have a fair amount of experience, certainly more than Ki Miao does. looks like everything is just fine there.
There's Kimiao making that inside move. Getting those shoulders ahead.
And the three, just kind of realizing that we're all through. Let's just discretion the better part of valor here. Second heat coming up. Kazakh Nomads, Malika Yermak, Yelzyatsev Sidorko of the Ukrainian Wildcats, Hyojin Kim of the Racing Roos from Australia, Natalia Malashevska of the Polish Hussars, and Lam Qingyan of the Hong Kong Ice Chilins.
So quite a different advancement that we're seeing from the 500s, where it was the first plus the fastest 9 on the men's side there. On the women's side here in the 1,000 meters, seeing the first, second, and third place skaters going through, plus the 2 fastest 4. So that really opens up the qualification and takes a little bit of pressure off those top positions. So we'll see some separation, I think, between the stronger skaters and some of the weaker skaters in these events. Let's keep an eye on Natalia Malazweska. She's a great skater, a couple 500 World Cup titles to her name, but we haven't seen her on the circuit for a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of shape she's in. She's got to get her racing feet back, so let's keep an eye on that Polish skater sitting in 4th right now.
So for a race like this, since it's the beginning, since it's the between race of the 500 and the 50, and you mentioned Malashevska, as a 500-meter specialist, a slower race is certainly to her advantage.
Certainly. This could be a great round for her to get used to racing at this level again. And again, the advancement of it being so open is really going to help the skaters relax a bit in this race, probably feel less panic to get right out front right away.
And it is Malika Yermak, the Kazakh Nomads, finding her way at the front. Lam, who started in position 5, is up to 2nd, and there is Malashevska in 3rd. Now Malashevska making the move for 2nd.
Pace picking up now. Got a battle for 3rd here.
It would be an all-decisive battle with 3 moving on at the bell. Malashevska makes a move for the lead. Yermak decides to say, we've got space. Sure, you take it if you want. And it is Kim out of the Australian Racing Roos side getting up for 3rd. Nothing really taking a look. No, nothing caught the officials' eyes. So it looks like another clean race.
Malazweska making that last move on the inside. Again, I think it's just an opportunity to practice some passing.
Very comfortable from Yermak there on the front for so long, and enough of a gap that when Malashevska came through, she went, sure, we're already through, we're good. Let's not risk anything. And Malashevska, the Hussar, riding her way to victory there. We zip along a lot faster when there's nothing needing a review.
Well, it's great for the athletes too, because the last thing that you want to be is standing in the heat box, getting on the ice, a review happening, and chewing up about 5 minutes of you just standing out there.
Results up there. As they finished on the line, so are those results confirmed. 3rd heat, Tineke Dundalk, the top-ranked skater of the Belgian Ice Bears, Chloé Olivier of France, Katarina Buric of the Croatian Dalmatians, Louisiana Stahl of the USA Eagles, and Leah Mead of the New Zealand Ice Kias. I pointed out earlier the Ice Kias. The Kia is a parrot that lives above the snow line. It also eats meat, and apparently there are videos of them that like to destroy cars. So as you're image goes and as that identity goes, I kind of like that one too.
I'm learning a lot this weekend, not just about skating, but also about animals.
We also get to learn a lot about the countries that they represent, so it's a nice touch anyway. There is Olivier, that French program really based in the Pyrenees in the south of France, but they are going to be building. Because after Cortina comes the 2030 games now in France. And it is Olivier on the front.
All the skaters looking relaxed. I expect we'll see some action here, though.
It is still Olivier, who's actually born in Canada. Longueuil, just across the St. Lawrence River on the South Shore from Montreal, so it's possible she has some family out to check her out. Doing it proud right now. Olivier still in front.
Olivier is doing a great job of just slowly pushing the pace a little bit more, making it more difficult for the following skaters.
And it's a victory to the Roosters. Chloe Olivier takes the win. Tineke Dandalk finishing in second place.
So we'll keep an eye on these fourth place times. In the first two heats, fourth place, we see 1:36.07. In the second heat, we see 1:36.06. Really tight. You know, when you're sitting in those time qualifying positions, every hundredth, every thousandth can make the difference of you going through to the next round.
And so if you're decompressing after a race, it must be potentially agony to sort of look, see if I was in that race, I could have done that speed, but I was in this race.
Well, that 100th is the difference of a half inch of a blade, right? So
yeah.
That little extra stretch could have been it. That will nag on your mind afterwards if that's the difference.
But all part of the learning experience, particularly for young skaters, where you're sort of aware that, yeah, every little bit matters. And there you have the top three confirmed.
You know, it's a lesson you got to learn early.
And we now start to see those fourth place times falling by the wayside. Louisiana Stahl not going to move on directly. Heat 4 now coming in. Out of position 1, the Nomad, Olga Tikhonova, Nakashima Mide, the Ninja, Miroslava Selyukova, the Wildcat, Choi Min-jung, and Paulina Klevstuen. Choi Min-jung very slowly off the line. She almost just gave it up and says, oh sure, I'll go to fifth. And it's Klevstuen shaking things up a little bit.
So Tikhonova's the highest ranked skater in this distance from last season. Representing the Ukrainian Wildcats.
She might have been slow off the line, but now Choi Min-jung, plenty of experience there. Moving to the front, Tikhonova. Pretty familiar faces. A lot of experience in this heat. It is still Tikhonova on the front right now. Choi Min-jung. Now they start to floor it a little bit. The tempo picking up. Klevstuen struggling to hang on to the back there. Choi in front, Nakashima in second, and then Tikhonova in third. At the moment, those top three would move on. Now there's some distance. Selyukova losing contact a little bit, and there it is at the bell. This one looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. Choi comfortable, Nakashima in second, Tikhonova in third.
You said it, Gavin. Choi just very comfortable throughout that race. Very comfortable in the lead there. Just controlling the skate from the front. Looking at the times right now, we see the fourth place skater again, right in that 1:36.1 mark. Very close on that time advancement, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
At the moment, it's Petra Vankova of the Czech Ice Spiders and Lam Ching Yan of the Hong Kong Ice Chilins. And another clean race. Very clean racing so far today. We had the worries off the start. Actually, hang on. We do have an announcement coming up.
Saliakova, 136.06, it's looking like. That is just squeaking in front of that previous 136.069 and 136.07 for a time qualification currently.
Oh, very close. I thought we had an official lining up to make an announcement, but they're just getting ready for the next race. So that's my mistake. Apologies. There we have it. Saliakova with the clock next to her name. Now she waits. And Elisa Eckstein of the German Wolves leading the way here. Valentina Askic, a Dalmatian. Holly Hoyland, the Royal. And Petra Yashapati of the Hungarian Falcons. Not so urgent to try to get into that corner first.
One advantage here of being one of the later rounds in this event gives you the opportunity to see the times that have been put up. And you know the skaters are keeping an eye on that clock, keeping an eye on the times. They know what they're going to have to do if they're looking at that time qualification. And in this race, actually with only 4 skaters, would be a race that wouldn't be a bad strategy to actually take it from the lead and push that time. Because even if you're 4th in the race, the time may be enough to put you through the next round.
So 75% of this race will go through. At the moment, it's Askic at the front. The 25-year-old, born in Bosnia, admits she wasn't in love with short track at first, but her appreciation for the sport developed, and here she is. She's the first Olympic short tracker for Croatia at the 2022 Beijing Olympics. The solo result for her was a 12th. Nearly 500 meters last season, leading the way, but that's all changing. This one really is a quick field with Yashapati, the Falcon, flying to the front. Everybody's still pretty compact, some small gaps. Yashapati pulling at the front. Here is the Valley. Yashapati comfortably in front. It's going to be a real battle for 4th. Here comes Hoyland. She's trying to get out of 4th place, going to try to reach potentially at the line, setting up for an inside move. Here we go. And it is still Hoyland who is going to be in 4th with a 1:35.63. And that may be enough for her to move into those positions.
That should be enough, as all the qualifying times that we're seeing right now in the 36 range and only 1 heat remaining in this. So that should be enough for Holly Hoyland to go through.
So just looking at it right now, 1:35.612. That is the faster of the 2 third-place times. So barring any advancements, the British Royals' Holly Hoyland could be looking to move right on. But of course, we haven't had any advancements in a while, so that always hangs over our head.
Similar to the previous race, 4 skaters again. They know the time they have to beat, 1:36.06, if they're going to take that 4th position. If I was a skater on the edge there, I'd be looking to get out early, push the pace comfortably a little bit, something that I can sustain, and make sure that I try to get that time.
Next one, another race with just 4 skaters, all pretty closely ranked, or a couple of them are. Gabriela Topolska is the top race here. There's those results confirmed. Topolska 53rd in the world in this distance. Svetlana Rapetska of the Wildcats, Betty Muska of the German Wolves, and Alina Ashgalieva of the Kazakh Nomads.
Ready.
Muska sitting at the back there, 2020 Youth Winter Olympian. She just turned 21 in August out of Rostock. But at the front,
Rapetska pushing the pace here.
This one is certainly at a brisk pace. They are strung out a little bit. Not completely urgent, but it's not a walking pace.
Yeah, no, I thought when she made that move, she might be going for it, but now they're looking to settle in. So this is going to be still a battle for those top 3 positions.
Inside 6 to go. Repetska on the front. Topolska, the Hussar, right behind her. And there is Muska moving into 3rd. That's the last guaranteed qualifying spot, remember. Topolska hits the front. A little battle for 2nd there. Muska into 2nd. 3 to go, and there is some distance now. Repetska losing touch a little bit. She might just have to fight to try to get that 4th place time. Just leave it all out there.
Yeah, you got to push through that right now. Everything that she has to make sure she can kind of snake that qualifying time.
At the bell, it's Topolska. These 3 keep the blades on the ice, and they will be advancing. I don't think anything's getting a look there. It is Gabriela Topolska. And then Alina Zhgalieva and Betty Muska, the 3 moving on automatically. And we'll see what Repetska does. 1:38.65. I don't think that will do it.
But another round of nice, clean racing.
All clean. That's what we were talking about earlier, where the officials hoping to ease into the season. They had their little rush early on, and now we just get to enjoy some nice by-the-books racing. And the men's 1,000-meter skates already start to come out. Muska making the move there, and that was, I think, the moment where Repetska just lost contact, and then it was the 3 skating over for those spots. And expect the noise to pick up here. They just announced Jordan Pierre-Gilles, and there's those results. Top 3 moving on. Repetska's time not good enough to move on directly anyway, and so the 2 qualifiers out of 4th place. Holly Hoyland, the British Royal, and Miroslava Selyukova. And there's the start list for men's preliminaries 1,000 meters. Jordan Pierre-Gilles of the Ice Maples. Benson Ogradi of the Falcons, Metehan Atan of the Anatolian Pars, Martin Kolench, the Dalmatian, and Lin Xiaojun. That's a pretty big name to have in this field.
Lin Xiaojun, 500-meter world champion. Jordan Pierre-Gilles, bronze medal at the World Championships this year. Both in the 500-meter.
We had 2 podium finishers from the women's 1,500-meter world championships in a 500-meter earlier. That was Kim Gilly and Corin Stoddard. That race, I remember in Rotterdam, I think Pierre-Gilles had to get up after a crash and cross the line to salvage that bronze medal. It was a wild finish in Rotterdam.
He did, proving if you're down, you never give up.
And also just realizing only 2 people have finished. It's a who gets up and cross the line first will get a medal, and it's those 2, Pierre-Gilles and Lin, on the front right now.
It's going to be a battle here. This is first plus the 9 fastest seconds, so that qualification changing again, and we got 2 fast skaters here. Well, we have several fast skaters, but 2 big heavy hitters with top speed.
Jordan Pierre-Gilles, you mentioned the 500-meter specialist, now is trying to maintain that speed. If this is a fast race, how do they parse out that energy? It's a move for the lead. Now it's several skaters going for the lead. It's very pushed in there.
Pierre-Gilles was watching Lin Xiaojun on his outside. He moved a little bit deep, opened the door. Now he's taking it back to the front using his home crowd.
The students cheering on the hometown man. Lin Xiaojun now making a move at the bell. Jordan Pierre-Gilles on the front. He has a bit of a gap. That might be enough. Lin's going to try to push it. Not going to be close enough, and it's Jordan Pierre-Gilles taking the win for the Ice Maples.
Great race from Jordan here. Positioning himself in the front. Finds himself moving back, but attacking right away to take that lead, not taking chances.
And looks like another clean race. And so
I'd like to get a replay of Lin Xiaojun. He made a tight inside pass. We'll probably be seeing this in a few moments after they showcase the start. But Lin Xiaojun makes a tight inside pass to get to second. You can kind of see he knows he's going to have to defend. He doesn't think he has. Right here, tight inside pass.
slotted in there. Nogradi really made them work for it.
Yeah, Lin Xiaojun on the outside there. There's Pierre Gilles looking to block Xiaojun, opening the door on the inside. But Xiaojun, no, he's kind of holding. He's defending second here. He's not looking at Jordan Pierre Gilles anymore.
Once that gap was there. And a little fist pump.
Jordan Pierre Gilles debriefing with Mark Schreiber, high performance director of short track speed skating in Canada. It's a great first race for him. That's going to be some good confidence to carry him through.
And Lin Xiaojun did finish second, and so now we'll wait. Second heat, Peter Yashapati of the Falcons, Hio, USA Eagles, Wesley Yates of the Royals, Tinius Alme of the Norwegian Vikings, and Shinky Connect, the veteran of the Dutch Lions.
Great to see Shinky back into the mix. You know, he's been battling injuries. He's a veteran of the tour. A lot of titles to his name, a lot of experience. He's a fierce competitor, so it's awesome to have him back in the lineup.
A fierce competitor playing into the Lion that he is now, representing the Dutch Lions.
He certainly embodies the Lion.
And Andrew Hio of the United States hitting the front from Warrington, Pennsylvania.
Andrew Hale, great young skater coming up. Really impressed by his performances in Rotterdam.
Part of the bronze medal winning mixed relay side. And it's Hale and Connect.
This will be really interesting to see where Shinky's at. These early rounds will still be a test for him and ensure getting back into the swing of racing.
To 9 of the fastest second place skaters. There are 11 heats in this men's 1,000. Still Hale leading the front.
Hale's keeping the pace going. He's keeping this fast.
At the bell, it's Hale and Connect who are really battling. Ooh, Yashapati trying to keep it close. Hale's leading around. Here comes Connect. He might take it. It's going to be a photo. That one might have been the closest race of the day. They haven't confirmed the time just yet, so we might all see together. And what I think, I mean, it was a fast race, so it will be interesting to see. I think so. It was slower than the previous heat anyway. So we will actually wait as we see, look back at this one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this photo finish here.
The veteran leaving it late might have timed it just perfectly.
Yeah, that's an experienced finish right there. On the outside shoulder, hooking tight to the finish. What a stretch. I think Heo still gets it.
That angle does look like Heo still hangs on.
So we'll keep an eye on these times. Again.
There it is. By 11/100ths of a second. Heo, the USA Eagle, picking up the win.
11 heats, 9 fastest seconds, barring any advancements.
There we are, Hale and Connect with the clock next to his name now. Moving right along, another clean race. We'll keep pointing it out because it's a nice flow we've got going now. There's heat number 3, Niall Tracy of the Royals, Petre of the Ice Bears, Gurov of the Kings, Kwok of the Ice Chilins, and another Eagle, Brandon Kim, on the ice here now. There's some ice repairs going on as there's undoubtedly a little bit of damage from the reach at the line there.
So here we see the current standings of the time advancement. 128.1 by Connect. That's the time to beat now.
And of course, the longer the clean racing goes, the more those times will get to stick. It's 9 of 11 if all things go clean again. But then things will get complicated if there are advancements and the like.
In this next race, we'll keep an eye on Niall Tracy. He's coming up, proving himself to be quite the strong skater. He'll be one to watch here.
The repairs, I believe, are done. Position 1 there. It is still Tracy there. Nice work by Kim to get all the way up to second.
So with the 1+ time advancement, but being an earlier round, we would have a little bit more of an ability gap in skaters. I think we're going to continually see the stronger skaters trying to make their way to the front, not take any risks. Niall Tracy's doing that right now. Kim leaving a bit of a gap. It's a bit of a strategy that skaters use. They leave a little bit of a gap in front. It's another way they can defend their position. They leave a gap in front and they feel someone coming, they can try to close that gap. And that is a way that they can somewhat block a pass. Because otherwise, if they're right there, they have nowhere to move but left or right, and they don't want to risk impeding.
Kim getting too close there to Tracy, lost him some speed. That allowed Petre to move into front, but it is still Tracy, the 24-year-old from Solihull.
Kim right back on the inside there to take second position.
And at the bell, it is still Tracy. Being challenged, here comes Kim taking a look on the inside, not gonna do it, and it's Niall Tracy essentially going wire to wire.
Just a real smart race by Tracy. They're not taking any chances, getting to the front early. He knows he's strong, he can control the race, and he did just that.
So Tracy from just outside Birmingham, now living in Nottingham, which is where a lot of that training goes for short track in GB.
See Fred Blackburn in the coach's box right now, the new Belgian head coach. Watching his skater Petrie here.
Blackburn, the former Canadian Olympian. Notice about Petre, he's a strong guy. He's almost, I don't want to use the word stocky, but he's a big fella. It's a world of, if you see a lot of short trackers, a lot of them are shorter, they have that lower center of gravity, but he's one of those ones who breaks the mold a little bit.
All the more mass to have to carry around the corner, which becomes a challenge for those bigger skaters. They have to have more strength in order to do that.
Sort of someone, other skaters a bit different is William Dongenou, who is leaner, but he's very tall.
Very tall.
By short track standards.
Yeah. Felix Dressel, also from Canada, very tall skater.
There's the next heat, another Eagle, Wesley Park leading the way. Peter Murphy, third time we've seen him already today. He's done the 5 and the 15. Sure, let's do the 1,000 too. Frederick Pedersen of the Vikings, Lou Jean Chouot of the Ice Chillins, and Reynes Berzins. Second time we've seen him today.
And I think the third time that we've seen Peter Murphy.
We have. So if anyone knows how the ice feels better than anyone today, it would be him. 5 skaters, reminder, just the first placed moving on, and up to 9 of 11, second place. It's not so much of a mad dash into the corner like the 500 meters. Wesley Park now slipping into second place. And Pedersen will bump there to move into second. And it is Lou Jean-Chouot of the Ice Chilins. And there is Berzins back on the front, the Gold Stars of Latvia.
Berzins getting a nice wide track. What I like about that is it doesn't put a ton of stress on your legs. It was a little bit lighter than having a tight entry, tight exit. That becomes very heavy. You're having to face against more G's on the turn when you're at tight entry, tight exit. So when you can, it's advantageous to skate that wider track.
Now things really picking up rather. Lou Jean-Chouot now at the front. He's really quite high here. Everybody's eyeing at least that second place spot. But it is 2 on the front. Lou Jean-Chouot, Rainis Berzins.
Strong outside pass by Berzins.
At the bell, here comes Wesley Park, the young American trying to make a move into second place. It's going to be close to the line for second. It's Berzins for first. Second, who takes it? It is Lou, I believe. That is the case by about 0.03 of a second. Nice Chilins skater. Looks like he snuck up there for second.
Great race by Berzins, making his way to the front, staying relaxed. Lou takes him on the inside, but he doesn't react. He doesn't panic. He stays calm. He doesn't rush to close the gap immediately. Here's a first look at his outside pass to get in control of the race in the front. Lou making his inside maneuver. But Berzins, you see, staying calm, staying collected. Takes confidence.
Berzins does have some medals on the old World Cup circuit. Certainly knows what it takes to get a victory here. He did just that in heat number 4 at the Maurice Richard Arena. Some more ice work getting done. They've got the fire extinguisher out. There are the results. Berzins goes P1, Lou in second. Whenever there's a bit of a gap, it allows us to run through quite comfortably the next heat, not being rushed. Matsubayashi Yui of the Japanese Ninjas, Matthias Wolfgang of Austria, Ivan Martinic of the Croatian Dalmatians, Gleb Ivchenko of the Kazakh Nomads, and Muhammad Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars.
Silence, s'il vous plaît, quiet, please.
Anatolian Par, also called the Anatolian Leopard. Big cats in that part of the world.
5 skaters in this fifth race. We have
It is Bozdag at the front for now, but around the outside, Shamkanov
number 93 from Austria,
hits the front.
Matthias Wolfgang. Number 115 from Croatia, Ivan Martinic. Number 80 from the Kazakh Nomads, Gleb
This one doesn't feel as quick. Maybe it's the fact that they're all still together that playing a bit of an optical illusion, because there's some good speed there. It just doesn't feel as quick to me, if that makes sense, Tyler.
You know, it's often deceiving when you're watching. Sometimes it's difficult to gauge, but here they are. They're starting to turn it on. Let's keep an eye on Matsubayashi in third right now. He's going to go. Here it is. Building it on the outside.
Taking one look, wasn't able to do it. Matsubayashi Yui taking a look on the inside. Nicely done, snipping in there, but he can't hold it, or can he? Yes, he can.
Great maneuver there. Convincing the skater you're going outside. You tried it before, jumping over the inside. Oh, but we have contact on that pass.
He goes for the lead. Bozdag goes down, and so Matsubayashi could be first across the line. You see the little dot in the corner. And Matsubayashi Yui will take it ahead of Yerkebulan Shamukanov. But there was that move there. That will take a look. We'll get a second look. The officials will decide if anything untoward had happened there.
Some exciting moves from Matsubayashi there. Like a ninja. Jumping in, making some moves.
They did do some nice little footwork there to get up into positions, I noticed, that you don't often see.
Yeah, I was impressed by his agility, his ability to react when he was looking to make one pass, change it up, go another direction. See if we go on the outside here. Look at it, he's building his speed. He's gonna see, you know, he's setting it up for the outside. Skater in front of him thinks he's going that way.
There was the little skip there.
Yeah, little quick feet, jump to the inside, closes the gap there. Hold second. Here's the quick jump to first. You know, we'll go to the review. I hate to make predictions, but you know, he does get ahead. We do see his shoulders ahead, and when they're looking at the second block there. It's not relative to the first block. So the straightaway extends all the way from the 7th block, and they'll be looking, how are the skaters entering together at the second block of the corner entry?
And pardon me, it wasn't Shamukanov, it was Glebivchenko. I'm looking at I've got my heats confused. So it's Glebivchenko who was the skater from the Kazakh Nomads there. It's Shamukanov. I've obviously got enough practice for his name. I'll be ready for the next heat. So apologies for that one there. And here is the announcement.
After review, we give a penalty to number 55 from Japan and an advancement for the number 97 for Turkey.
And so there you have it. Matsubayashi Yui penalized. He was the top-ranked skater in this heat, and it's Mohamed Bozdag of the Turkish Anatolian Pars getting advanced. Our first advancement for some time there is the confirmation up there.
And there goes our run of clean races, but Matsubayashi making contact on that corner. Here's a look at it again. End of straight. Yeah, late pass, so too late here.
There it is right there. Next heat already on there. There is Yerkebulan Shamukanov, Tobias Wolf of Austria, Maxim Maximov of the Bulgarian Kings, Jonas Hammermuller of the Wolves, and once again the third time today, Peter Joseph Grosskloos of the Philippine Tamarais. But he's a young fella. He's got energy to spare. And he jumps to the front. The lone man flying that Philippine flag.
Little spread out here.
Shamukanov is the top-ranked skater of this heat, 43rd in the world.
This race looks to be off to a little bit quicker start. I think Grosskloos has it in his mind that if he is in first, he's going to want that time advancement.
Now let's see how the young man can defend his line, defend his lead. He's got 4 skaters right behind him.
You know, the challenge that comes with leading and pushing the pace is that you're breaking the wind for the skaters in front of, or behind you, right? So they're benefiting from your draft. There we go.
There was a bump from Shamukanov on Grosskloos. There is going to be a review of that. You saw the little yellow dot. Shamokanov was going for the lead, which he maintains right now. There is Wolf in second, Hammermuller of the Wolves in third, and right now Shamokanov leading the way. We'll see if there's any decision there. It is Shamokanov and Wolf 1 and 2, and it's close in the end, but I still think Shamokanov hangs on there.
Great fight from Wolf there to hold on to that second position. He was battling, you could see it in his face. But we'll have a delay here for a little review.
We await the door. Still 5 more heats to come in this men's 1,000 meters.
There's another look at it.
It's just the slightest of bumps, but of course in a speed like this, that just throws everything off, doesn't it? We shall see if anything untoward was ruled here. Looks like the decision has been made, so we will find out here presently. There you have it. In the end, no disciplines meted out. And Shamokanov with the big Q moving on. Tobias Wolf will now have to sit and wait. Heat number 7 coming up. We're getting used to seeing a lot of these names going through the qualifiers. They're starting to feel a little bit too. Position 1 will be from the Ice Spiders, Zdenek Sapal, Liam O'Brien of the Wolfhounds, Lucas McDonald of the Ice Kias, Jung of the German Wolves, and Mika Klevstuen of the Vikings. There's some little movement there. And there is the false start. As Liam O'Brien getting penalized. He just almost lost his balance going forward there. It wasn't really pushed off, but unfortunate for him.
Yeah, never the way you want to go out.
We are down to 4. As Tyler's mentioned, all those on the outer starting positions get to slot in a little closer. And off the line, it's Lucas McDonald of the New Zealand Ice Kias. Jumping to the front. And Jung, his sister, also has competed for the Germans. As I mentioned, they're Korean born, but their father worked for a German company, and then the family all moved to Germany, and here they are today.
And representing the Norwegian Vikings, currently going into second position.
And it's the Viking now. Klevstuen into second place. Interesting change of dynamic here with the top-ranked skater, Zdenek Sapal, sitting at the back.
As you mentioned, losing the top-ranked skater really changes the dynamic for the other skaters, because what they have in their mind before the race is now completely different.
And it is. Nice little debut here, potentially, if Klevstuen can hold on. He has a bit of a gap. It's tightening up behind him. Nice move by Jung to get into second, and he makes it stick very close quarters here. Into the corner at the bell. Everybody comes through it okay, and it's Jung coming out of it, leading the way, and he could take this heat. Yangun Ben Jung at the line as I say that. Sapal.
What a finish.
That top-ranked skater, maybe he took it personally and went, oh yeah, here I come.
Jung with two nice quick inside moves. They were looking really tight, but he just managed to find the space for them. But again, as we talked about before, you can't really give up at all. Can't give an inch before that finish.
So no, there was a lot of change of the lead there. Everyone kind of took a turn, but all the while, Zdenek Sepal was just.
Jung making that inside maneuver. Nice clean pass. He's got to get out though. It was a tight entry, so he has to try to close the door. This was a later one. Just squeaks in.
It was everyone battling as we came up for the bell, and then at the line here, whoop, I'll take it.
What's tough with those inside passes, you're trying to hold the exit, and usually you can't carry your speed as well, so you're starting to slow down, and that's what opens the door for the skaters behind you to try to take advantage of that.
So that time it is one of the slower heats we've seen, so Jung is going to be watching quite nervously as we get through here. There are the results. Sepal takes it. And the next heat, heat number 8, very prominent ice bear, Stan de Smet. We'll see him for the first time this weekend.
De Smet's got some great medals to his name, a few World Championship medals in the past, but I don't think the World Championships last year was what he had in mind and how he wanted to walk away from it. So I'm sure to start this tour, he wants to come out strong.
So Stan de Smet, Tarek Omeragic of Bosnia-Herzegovina, Nico Anderman of Austria, Yaroslav Morozov of the Ukrainian Wildcats, and Sean McAnuff of those Irish Wolfhounds. No Anderman, actually, so it's down to 4.
Silence. Red.
De Smet, one that really likes those 1500s, Tyler.
Yeah, great endurance from De Smet. I expect that he's not going to want to sit in third for too long, so let's keep an eye on him looking to move to the front.
Here comes Morozov sniffing around the outside. Trying to make his move. He does. Still, no, he doesn't. He's still looking around. Not able to make it stick.
Stein de Smet's training here in Montreal as well, so very familiar with the ice, very comfortable on this surface.
And now de Smet, third to first in the blink of an eye.
That's how you make an outside pass. Nice and quick, get to the front.
Now, that might be it. He might just shift. Now, 3.5 laps to go. Leaving his competitors in his wake. They're trying to hang on here.
Yeah, creating that gap behind him. He doesn't want to be challenged, right? Get out of the way of any drama unfolding behind you.
Staying above the fray is the name of the game as 3 skaters now battle for second. De Smet comfortably in charge. I don't think he is going to lose this one unless any drama happens. He almost stands up there at the end and smoothly over, and it's McAnuff jumping up for second for the Irish Wolfhounds.
Stein is making that look easy here. Very well executed. It was a little bit of a slower pace at the start. He was staying relaxed, conserving some energy, makes a brilliant move on the outside, and just pulls away.
Comfortably for him. A couple more heats to go, and then we'll wrap up sort of this session. There'll be a bit of a longer break before we get into the afternoon session.
You know, seeing that performance from Stein de Smet, he's going to be one to watch as we go through.
Anyone named de Smet, really.
Yeah.
We'll see his sister soon enough. Always one to animate a race, real protagonist to shake things up. Doesn't always go in her favor, but always certainly one to talk about.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling as when you finish that last half lap knowing you're not under fire at all.
Saving that little bit of extra energy. Doesn't need that last exertion at all. Just could cruise a little bit and save that little bit for things to come. There you have it. number 9 coming up. Top ranked skater here will be Furkan Akar of the Turkish Anatolian Pars.
Three heats remaining here. Keep an eye on these second place qualifying times.
There is a look at Akar. Just 22 years old. He's born in Erzurum in eastern Turkey. That eastern part of Turkey is really is. There is winter there. It's not warm like Istanbul really is, but he was the opening ceremony co-flag bearer for Turkey at the 2022 games.
Quick start here by Warham pushing this pace. So he certainly has some time, a time advancement in mind here. We know it's right now looking at 130.9, 130.8 as those last two qualifying times to go through. This is looking like a quick race.
And Akar has that 500-meter specialty too. He picked up that 9th place in Rotterdam in the 500 meters, so we know he has that top-end speed to push it. So this could be an interesting dash to the finish. The Racing Roo racing to the front. Lucas Wareham.
Wareham really pushing it. I'd be concerned about his energy levels. The skaters behind him looking pretty relaxed. There's a nice quick double inside pass by two skaters moving up.
Wonjun Moon of the Hungarian Falcons taking the lead. And as he mentioned, Wareham looks like he's running out of gas here.
There it is. Yeah, a little aggressive for Wareham to start this race off. I think he gave it a little too much. Maybe it's that first excitement, first race on the tour this season.
And it's two at the front right now. It's Moon of the Falcons. Akar making the move, and they're both down. Goodness. And it's going to be Robin Bendig crossing the line first.
Not what we like to see, but you know, these things happen. This is short track. This is what keeps it exciting. I think Akar, you know, being a bit more of a sprinter, his legs are going on him a little bit, looking for that first place to guarantee the advancement through to the next round, but just a little bit late. We're going to see, you know, get a replay here, wait for the official decision.
Rostislav Leontenko of the Ukrainian Wildcats crossed the line second, but it was Robin Bendig, the ultimate beneficiary, winning that race. So we'll see that move by Akar late. Wareham leading for so long and then just running out of steam.
I think this is a move that Akar might be, you know, reconsidering after the race, depending on what happens here.
This might be the luck here.
Trying to jump up the inside.
And then down he goes. So we'll see what the ruling is.
Yeah. You know, both skaters had a clear gap on the rest of the pack here. The pace was fast enough. I think each would have gone through.
And they are still conferring.
So reviewing a late pass here as we see the replay by Akar. We'll wait for the official call. The pass by Akar just wasn't very well set up, you know, to ensure that he had the velocity needed to get by.
They still haven't reached an ultimate verdict. Of course, now they make the announcements on the ice, so we'll all find out here at the same time. A look at the video room.
great that the officials have access to this video review. They got a lot of great angles. They can pause it, they can slow it down, they can see right where the skaters are in that moment. It's great to see how far the technology has come. Before, they wouldn't have that ability. You know, now they can make sure that they're making the right call.
Officials out of officials, teammates of Turkey. And the waiting continues. We do know that Robin Bendig crossed first, so he stayed out of danger, so I believe his position is safe, but we shall see what happens here. This, again, is another look. Makes the move on the inside. Bump. And down they go.
You can see a car, he kind of feels as he's going in, I don't have quite enough room. He's trying to get small. He's trying to get tight to the blocks, squeeze by.
See if maybe they determine maybe he did get by just enough, but this one's might be our longest review of the morning so far. He's not sure, neither are we just yet.
These moments can feel, you know, what take a few minutes can feel like an hour for the athletes. You're waiting for your fate to be determined.
While the repairs are going on the ice, and the next round of skaters isn't even out yet. 2 heats still to come.
The car is still sitting here awaiting the decision.
Carr had that really good story of the World Championships in Rotterdam where he finished 9th in the 500 meters. It was really sort of a watershed moment for that burgeoning program. Turkey is apparently building new facilities for new arenas for short track to start building up that program. His best finish is a 4th in a World Champion, or a World Cup rather, in Salt Lake City. Has some other top 10s in thousands and 1500s, so there is the talent in that young man.
So what the officials are looking at here is, oh, here I think we're going to get a decision. Not yet. Looking at where Akar is going into the corner, but also looking to see is Moon changing lanes on him on the entry to the corner too. So that's where the officials are trying to, you know, see the intent of the athletes and decipher what's going on.
So that might be where if it's a shared responsibility situation.
Yeah, it could be shared responsibility.
Now they've got the next heat out on the ice, so feels a little more imminent. And the officials are heading to the center of the ice. So, announcement coming, let's find out.
After a technical error, we add 2 skaters to the next round, so they will advance. Number 49 from Turkey and number 122 from Hungary.
Well, in the end, they're both being advanced. Well, there you go.
Very interesting.
I don't think we've seen that anytime recently.
Well, that's what we're talking about, that shared responsibility in which they both, you know, maybe have some impeding on each other. You know.
So already on to the next heat. We'll go through the running order once underway. Just confirming it all there. Now we can. Radek Faikus, Theo Collins, Yang Chen Rui, Wara Van Dam, and Orion McAnuff. So 4 out of 5 here have those new kits. And we'll see the rest of them getting them soon, but it's a nice look at what's to come on the World Tour here. There's Wara Van Dam on the front. Then ranked 120th in the 1,000 meters. Top ranked is Faikus.
Watching Van Dam here in the lead. What he's doing is, as he's out on the exit here, let's see if he does it again, but he's putting his head down, looking in between his legs on occasion to see where everyone is. We just saw it again there. You know, that's a way, rather than doing a shoulder check, looking back between your legs. That takes practice to get used to.
There he just looked over his shoulder there as Theo Collins of the British Royals bears down on him.
I like the awareness of Van Dam. Now he's accelerating in this race. He's pushing the pace. He's building on the corner exits. He's getting the speed higher, making it more difficult for the following skaters to pass. Here we go.
Collins trying to make a move, but that ends up slowing him down a little bit. He's going to try again. It's 3 going in there. Van Dam bumped out of it. Collins trying to make a move for the lead stick, and he does at the bell. Collins, a 21-year-old from Guildford. Like he will take this one. Doesn't look like anything's going to be reviewed.
Yeah, Van Dam there, what he found himself in a position. Skater coming on the outside, skater coming on the inside. How is he adjusting for that? And in a blink of an eye, you go from first to third quite quickly.
Amazing how that happens so quickly in this sport. And pardon me, Collins, just 20 years old. He turns 21 on November the 5th. So we've seen a few of those British Royals moving on out of these preliminaries and heats. So not a bad return from them so far. But of course, things get a little more difficult once the seeded skaters start coming into the fray.
One more race to go here. See if we can get a look at what is the time required now to get through. Some of the race times still waiting to come up. Somewhere in the neighborhood, though, of a 129. If you go sub 130.
It's looking like if you're in the 130s, you're risking it. So I think Sean McAnuff and Yanguin Benjung are the two that are potentially on the bubble, with McAnuff with the slower of them. But of course, we've had some advancements and everything, so this will all play out differently than what we're used to, or what we've seen. We've seen a lot of just clean skating. But anyway, one more heat to come, and it only has 4 skaters. Oleg Hande, another one who's seen plenty of action today. Watanabe Keita, Joshua Ka of the New Zealand Ice Kias, and Ivan Donchev of the Bulgarian Kings.
Great atmosphere up here in the crowd. We're seeing athletes warming up, coming in through the stands, kids getting autographs. Awesome. Oh, we got a video review here.
Is a review of this incident. That was when they all snuck around Wara Van Dam.
And Van Dam actually goes quickly from first to fourth after this here.
So there's contact there, but well, I'm not the official, so I'll just leave it to them and to the people watching at home, who will ultimately just make their own decisions. It's very minimal, it feels, though.
Yeah, Van Dam getting his elbows up a little bit, which you have to do in short track. You gotta defend your position, but can't be too aggressive with those elbows either. So I guess the other thing, as we've seen some advancements, and if we continue to see more, that starts to affect the time qualifications, but still looking like sub 130 will be about the edge of what it's going to take to go through for the second pace.
I just saw an official doing sort of a nah, so I don't think there was anything coming out of that decision. Looks like we will just carry on with one final heat with those 4 skaters already on the ice. There you have it. Collins confirmed, and it doesn't look like anyone will get that second time out of that heat. So the rankings in this heat, 54, 57, and then 116, 117. So it's almost two separate clusters of very closely ranked skaters.
And that's kind of the way it filters out when they're doing the rankings to build the races. They're going to be serpentining them on rank, so you'll see the skaters closer in rank at these later races here.
It is Watanabe on the front. Hyundai in second. He's already crashed once, and then he had another race that went much more smoothly.
He's had a busy morning already.
And he makes the move for the lead, and he makes it stick nicely from him to sneak right up the inside.
I've been really impressed with Hyundai's skating there. He's making these passes look not effortless, but he's making them nice and clean. He's getting by, he's getting the position he needs to be, pushing the pace up front, creating a gap behind. Nice, strong skating from him, but can we see, does he have the legs after all the racing already this morning to carry him to the end?
This Ukrainian Wildcats Hyundai, 25-year-old from Kiev. And he, of course, with the ongoing situation, the Ukrainian championships were held last season in Poland. He is in control. No, he's not.
There's Watanabe staying patient through the race, having that feeling that maybe Hyundai's not going to be able to maintain that pace.
Now it's really going to be interesting. Will it be enough for the time? Watanabe Keita.
The times are looking quick.
127.5 is Hyundai's time. That is, I believe, one of the better ones, but based on the few advancements that we have, we'll see what happens, but it is Watanabe Keita.
You can see the pain on Hyundai's face there at the end. You know, he knew what he had to do. He had to make sure he got the speed going there. Here's a look at coming up on probably his inside pass, I suspect. Pushes out wide. Here it is. Good build there. Those two quick crossovers to get the speed up. It's so difficult to pass in short track. A lot of people don't realize you're following the pace of the skater, but you have to accelerate to get faster than them. So you have to create that opportunity, that spacing where you can accelerate without running into them, but also getting by.
There we have it. That ends 1,000 meters. It's the last race of the morning session. Now we'll just see who gets the Qs. All important letter Q next to their name, and Hyundai's time is fast enough to get him advanced. You'll see that pop up on the screen. There you have it. Watanabe Keita with the big Q, Hyundai with the little Q as moving on. Looks like the others to get the time. Lin Xiaojun all the way back in heat number 1. Moving on, Shinky Connect does have enough time to move on. It'll be an interesting addition in the later rounds. Brandon Kim, Liu Zhan Shuo of the Hong Kong Ice Chilins. Tobias Wolf also going through. Looks like we're taking a long break. That's the morning session. A fine start to the day and the weekend's action. And we will be back in, let's say, about an hour's time. We'll be getting back going with the afternoon session. So, signing off for now on behalf of Tyler Dara and the entire crew here, I'm Gavin Day. Talk to you in a bit.